A horrifying massacre takes place inside Guard Post 506 on the South Korean border. One soldier brutally murders all of his fellow soldiers. When a rescue team arrives, they find bodies scattered everywhere. A soldier covered in blood is standing among them with an axe in his hand. The team restrains him, and he soon falls unconscious. Once the news reaches the Ministry of National Defense, the officer in charge immediately calls in Liu Cheng, a veteran military investigator. Lieutenant Liu, the commanding officer at Guard Post 506, is the chief of staff's son. With the only suspect still unconscious, headquarters orders Liu Cheng to uncover the truth before morning. Liu Cheng and his assistant arrive at the guard post that night. Blood covers the entire building, and the words, "Kill them all," are written across a wall in bright red. Thick blood keeps pouring from the pipes, and no one knows what happened here. Liu Cheng soon examines the unconscious soldier. The man has no identification on him, so they can't confirm who he is. Liu Cheng then announces that he'll be in command until the next morning, and no one is allowed to leave without permission. While searching the crime scene, Liu Cheng finds a military dog tag on a piece of cake under one of the beds. Using the name on the tag, he locates the owner's personal belongings. The unconscious soldier is Jiang Chunyuan, but Liu Cheng can't understand why he would murder the men he lived and served with in such a brutal way. Something else doesn't add up. 21 soldiers were stationed at Guard Post 506, but only 19 bodies were found. Even with Jiang Chunyuan included, one soldier is still missing. The military doctor also discovers that the victims didn't all die at the same time or in the same way. Some were shot while others were attacked at close range. This clearly wasn't as simple as Jiang Chunyuan suddenly turning on everyone by himself. Just then, the doctor receives orders from headquarters to transport the wounded soldier and the bodies back to the base immediately. Liu Cheng has no choice but to let the convoy leave while the remaining soldiers continue searching the post. Strangely, a normally obedient military dog refuses to go inside, as if it's terrified of something in there. Liu Cheng later finds a clue in a soldier's journal. On the night before the massacre, the military dogs outside suddenly started barking non-stop. When one soldier went to check, he found Sergeant Ma crouched inside the kennel, eating one of the dogs alive. But the remaining pages have been torn from the journal. No one knows what happened next. Liu Cheng also discovers that all the soldiers' weapons had been collected and locked inside the armory. Someone had clearly ordered everyone to surrender their weapons. As Liu Cheng studies these strange details, the search team finds the missing soldier inside the electrical room. The man is holding a knife and appears completely disoriented. After Liu Cheng restrains him, he claims to be Lieutenant Liu, the chief of staff's son. He refuses to talk about what happened and only demands to be taken back to headquarters. When the chief of staff hears that his son is alive, he calls Liu Cheng and pressures him to let the man leave. Liu Cheng refuses. His orders are to uncover the truth before daybreak. After the call, Liu Cheng realizes Lieutenant Liu has disappeared. The man has gone back to the office, where he's tearing pages out of the journal and stuffing some of them into his mouth. Liu Cheng immediately stops him, convinced that he's deliberately hiding something. But headquarters keeps pressuring Liu Cheng. In the end, he has no choice but to arrange a vehicle to take Lieutenant Liu away. At the same time, Liu Cheng's assistant finds a video camera. The first part shows the soldiers celebrating a birthday together. Then it suddenly cuts to a video Jiang Chunyuan recorded of himself. Looking directly into the camera, Jiang Chunyuan declares that he's going to kill everyone at Guard Post 506, but the recording cuts off at the most important moment. After looking into Jiang Chunyuan's background, Liu Cheng learns that he was known for causing trouble, but he wasn't a bad person. He doesn't seem like someone who would suddenly slaughter his entire unit. The survivor, claiming to be Lieutenant Liu, on the other hand, has been hiding the truth from the beginning, making him far more suspicious. Meanwhile, both the convoy carrying the bodies and the vehicle escorting Lieutenant Liu are forced to turn back after a landslide blocks the road. Liu Cheng continues reading the pages Lieutenant Liu left behind and slowly pieces together what happened before the massacre. A senior officer was scheduled to inspect the guard post, so Sergeant Ma and several soldiers were sent to clear weeds nearby. They were gone for a long time. Just as Lieutenant Liu was preparing to send out a search party, the men returned with injuries. Their wounds didn't look serious, so no one paid much attention to them. But it isn't long before Sergeant Ma begins acting strangely. After eating the military dog alive, Sergeant Ma later approaches another soldier on guard duty, his eyes completely bloodshot. The terrified soldier falls from the guard tower. Yet, when he's questioned the next day, he has no memory of what happened the night before. The soldiers who were injured outside can't remember how they got hurt either. Realizing something is wrong, Lieutenant Liu prepares to isolate them. But then the soldier who fell from the guard tower suddenly dies, throwing the entire post into a panic. Jiang Chungyuan later overhears Lieutenant Liu calling the base. To protect his own career, Lieutenant Liu doesn't report any of the strange incidents. Instead, he claims that everything at the guard post is normal. When the convoy returns, the severely wounded Jiang Chungyuan finally dies. His body is taken to the basement, where Lu Cheng prepares to perform another examination. The soldiers escorting Lieutenant Liu also bring him back because he spent the entire trip slamming himself against the vehicle's window and refusing to return to the guard post. Under Lu Cheng's questioning, the man claiming to be Lieutenant Liu finally reveals part of what happened. According to him, Sergeant Ma and the other soldiers contracted a strange illness after returning from the mountain. He isolated the infected men to bring the situation under control, but the disturbing incidents continued. While repairing a pipe in the bathroom, Sergeant Ma repeatedly smashed his own hand with a pipe wrench as if he couldn't feel any pain. Afterward, he had no memory of doing it. Afraid that more soldiers would lose control, Lieutenant Liu ordered everyone's weapons confiscated. Just as the truth about Guard Post 506 begins to emerge, something strange happens inside Lu Cheng's search team. His assistant sees one soldier beat another man to death with the stock of his rifle inside the bathroom. But by the time everyone else arrives, the killer has already returned to his post and has no memory of the attack. After examining both men, the military doctor discovers blisters on their bodies. Several other members of the search team have developed the same symptoms. He believes they're dealing with a contagious disease that causes infected people to lose control and become violent. The virus was most likely brought back by Sergeant Ma and the other soldiers who went outside. It then spread through the entire guard post and has now infected the search team as well. Although they've confirmed the virus exists, Lu Cheng still doesn't know exactly what led to the massacre. While continuing to search through the soldiers' belongings, he finds a photograph of the chief of staff and his son. That's when he realizes the survivor isn't Lieutenant Liu at all. He's Quan Zhengmin, the guard post's medic. Quan's account wasn't entirely true. Earlier records had been altered, and the real Lieutenant Liu had also joined the trip outside. He returned infected with the same virus. While questioning the injured soldier, Lieutenant Liu suddenly lost control and killed him with his own hands. Once he came to his senses, he had no memory of what he'd done. To protect his career, Lieutenant Yu forces Quan Zhengmin to alter the duty logs and continues telling headquarters that everything is fine. He thinks he can keep the situation under control, but more and more people become infected. Once the soldiers learn that he's been hiding the truth, they lose all trust in him. Some of them seize the communications room and demand to contact headquarters directly. Lieutenant Yu brings men in to stop them, and a fight quickly breaks out. One officer is killed in the chaos, and the remaining soldiers refuse to follow orders. Lieutenant Yu is disarmed and locked inside the electrical room. The communications equipment is also destroyed during the conflict, cutting everyone off from the outside world. Later, Medic Kwang Zhengmin goes to the electrical room and urges Lieutenant Yu to call headquarters for help. But Yu still refuses to admit that the virus exists. Instead, he threatens Yongmin with a gun and even prepares to blame everything that happened at the outpost on him. Yongmin immediately tries to stop him. As they struggle over the handgun, it accidentally fires, shooting Lieutenant Yu in the head and killing him instantly. His face is so badly damaged that he can no longer be identified. Desperate to escape the outpost, Zhengmin puts on Yu's uniform and hides. When the search team finds him, he claims to be Lieutenant Yu, hoping to use the officer's identity to get out. Once his identity is exposed, Youngmin slips into a vehicle carrying the dead and tries to escape. A guard attempts to stop him, but Youngmin runs him down. He then drives straight out of the compound. Lu Cheng opens fire in pursuit, forcing the vehicle to crash into a wall. Youngmin is captured again, but the soldier he ran over soon gets back up and attacks the others. Lu Cheng has to shoot him in the head before he finally stays dead. Realizing the situation is completely out of control, Lu Cheng gathers the entire search team for an examination. More than half of them already have blisters on their bodies. He tries to confiscate the infected soldiers' weapons, but they violently resist. As the two sides face off, Jung Min cuts the power from inside the electrical room. Someone fires a shot in the darkness, and everyone immediately starts shooting at one another. Many of them die on the spot. After the gunfight, Lu Cheng and the military doctor realize that even those without blisters may already be infected. The two of them and the doctor's assistant are also showing symptoms. The doctor tells Lu Cheng that there's no cure for the virus, but it can't survive for long without a host, so when an infected person dies, the virus inside them dies too. That means anyone who leaves the outpost alive could carry it into the outside world. Lu Cheng finally understands why Kang Chun-wan killed all his fellow soldiers. He was using the most extreme method possible to stop the virus from spreading. Lu Cheng shoots the doctor's assistant, Jung Min, and the other infected survivors. He then locks the outpost gate, pours gasoline throughout the building, and rigs the gate with a bomb. The remaining infected soldiers cover their blisters with camouflage paint, hoping to hide the virus from the rescue team that's on its way. They also plan to blame all the deaths on Kang Chun-wan and Lieutenant Yu. Then they grab their weapons and hunt down Lu Cheng, hoping to take the key and escape. The two sides eventually exchange fire in the shower room. Sergeant Lee kills the military doctor, and Lu Cheng then kills Sergeant Lee. In the end, only Lu Cheng and Jung Min Jae, the young recruit with glasses, are left. Lu Cheng knows that he can't be allowed to leave alive either, so he deliberately lets Min Jae shoot and kill him. As dawn breaks, the rescue team finally arrives. Min Jae takes the key from Lu Cheng's body and unlocks the outpost gate, unaware that a bomb has already been attached to it. The moment the gate opens, the trigger is pulled. The entire 506th outpost is destroyed in the explosion. At the end of the movie, the second half of Kang Chun-wan's recorded message is finally revealed. The virus causes infected people to enter a brief period of remission. Their blisters disappear, their minds return to normal, and they seem completely cured. But the recovery isn't real. Eventually, the infected lose control again and become even more dangerous. Once Kang Chun-wan realizes that everyone is infected and there's no way to cure them, he decides to kill all his fellow soldiers. It's the most extreme way to keep the virus from spreading any further.